Welcome. Scott here. Today I bring you another Black Clover mobile guide. Let's proceed to talk about the featured daily boss. It seems that the either upgraded skill effect and extra passive will change from day to day. The boosted mage will also change from day to day. So don't be surprised if the strategy that you have used previously won't work when you do the run today. You will be fighting the Diamond Kingdom Exile, Fanzell Kruger. He is a red defender mage. Before I go through the upgraded skill effect and extra passive, let me go through his base kit first. Unlike the previous bosses, he has 4 abilities. His skill 1 is a single target attacking ability. Upon attacking, he will grant himself a 30% increased attack buff. He can gain up 2 of these stacks. If he has 1 or more buffs active, he will gain a 20% increased mobility. His skill 2 is an AoE attacking ability. Upon attacking, he will grant himself a 30% increased attack buff. He can gain up 2 of these stacks. If he has 2 or more buffs active, he will gain a 20% increased mobility. The skill has 3 turn cooldown. His skill 3 is a support non-attacking ability. It will grant himself a barrier buff that equates 150% of his magic attack for 4 turns. It also removes all active debuffs and give him an extra turn. His special is a single target attacking ability. If he was inflicted with taunt, he will attack after granting an 80% increased damage dealt buff. Upon killing an enemy with the ability, he will gain an invincibility buff for 2 turns. Like other bosses, he is immune to silence, total silence and status ailments such as stun or freeze. He is also immune to reduced mobility, mobility depletion, and reduced speed. On top of his default skill abilities and passive, he will also gain an upgraded skill effect or extra passive. This will change from day to day of the boss fights. For today's boss buff, these are the following effects. His skill 1 will grant himself an increased critical rate level 2 buff for 2 turns. His skill 2 will inflict the incapacitate debuff level 3 on the enemy for 2 turns. His special will attacks after removing the target's barrier. As you go higher the difficulty level, he will gain extra passive. From part 4 onwards, for each active buff present on himself upon using the skill, he will attacks after granting himself a 30% increased damage dealt buff. From part 7 onwards, upon attacking a defender enemy, he will inflict a 150% reduced defense buff on the enemy for 2 turns. For part 10, upon attacking, he will inflict a 50% reduced HP recovery received debuff on the enemy for 2 turns. The 2 boosted mages for today is Clover Academy Yami and Swimsuit Asta. With the mechanics explained, let me proceed with my showcase for the runs.
Burn away my past. Burn away my past.
You underestimated the Queen of Witches.
Burn away my past.